my voice.
Beautiful.
Ah! Hey there guys, no, what is happening? Hey there guys, no, I can't do it. I can't do my intro. No, this is painful. Hey there guys, and welcome back to UnJaded Jade. So my voice is actually gone. I'm just gonna start the video by saying that. For some reason, it just has gone really like husky and I can't like go high at all. But it is very exciting today because I am with Liv. If you don't already know who Liv Rook is, she is a lovely human. You should definitely go subscribe to her. Her channel is about mental health, hauls, vlogs.
That's it, really.
Yeah, and she's just a lovely person all round. Definitely go subscribe to her, and we also filmed a video on her channel which will be in the description. So today we're going to talk about a highly requested topic, and that is exam stress, mental health during exam season, and just staying calm in general.
Because it's so important.
It's so important.
People don't realise how important it is, especially at such a stressful time of year.
Yes, definitely, and everyone goes through it as well. So yeah, we're just gonna have a chat about that. So the first point which we really want to make clear is mental health will always come first.
Definitely.
Like, exams are important, sure they are, that grade is important, but at the end of the day you should always prioritise how you're feeling and your mental state.
Also, if you feel like you have done some research maybe into mental health disorders, and you kind of feel like you have some symptoms and you just feel really low in this time, then first of all, I do have a few videos on my channel just explaining the symptoms of depression, anxiety and OCD at the moment. I'm coming out with some more videos soon. So if you don't really know the symptoms, then maybe have a watch of those. And if you feel like you do have an undiagnosed disorder at the moment, then please go and speak to someone and go and see the GP. You're not wasting their time. They get this every single day, and just having a diagnosis can really help someone.
Yeah, and there's no shame in it at all. I think it's so important to just be honest with yourself, be open. If you're feeling really low, just speak to someone about it. And it's also about knowing where the line is between feeling, you know, feeling a bit off or actually having a diagnosed mental health issue. And sometimes it's quite important to just go and chat to someone about that.
And listen to the people around you, because especially with stress and exams, you may not be getting much sleep, you may not be eating as well as you used to, and people in your environment can easily catch on with that. And if your mum, for example, says like, "Oh Jade, you're not really looking yourself today, you're not really like doing the same usual things that you do," then obviously that is a signal.
Yeah, be conscious of the way that you feel. And number two, it is also really important that you do not burn out. So it's easy in exam season to go for really long stints without having breaks, or to, you know, to get up at crazy hours and work until very late hours, sacrifice your sleep, not go and eat properly because you're doing so much work, and ultimately you may well burn out. Realise when you are working yourself to that point.
Yeah, there's a line and you need to figure out what that line is for yourself. And again, don't compare yourself to other people, because mental health is different for every single person, and 8 hours of revision may be fine for someone. Personally, for me, I can't do 8 hours straight, and
not straight, no.
Well, some people can.
Yeah, true, some people can.
And that's what they want to do, and that's fine. It's different people. As long as you are aware of yourself, it's all good.
Yeah, I think with that self-awareness, you should still take breaks. So whether it's 5 minutes of doing a breathing technique, I just recently put one up on my channel with my mum, you can check that out. And it's funny because Liv actually recommended the same one to me. Yeah. And then I was like, I literally just filmed a video on that, so it's a good one. And
I just want to put out there, I actually have anxiety myself, and it's just so funny that I said that I was learning that breathing technique, and then Jade.
It's because it's so good.
It's a really good one.
Yeah, like, you really have to focus on it, like focus on your breath and the breathing pattern. So whether that break is going for a walk with your dog, or, you know, doing some exercise, I think it's important to have a break in a separate space than your study space sometimes, just to kind of differentiate from it, get yourself out of that space, and allow yourself to relax in between.
Small number 3 is be honest. We've kind of said this briefly before, but just be honest with people. If you're feeling low, the best thing you can do is talk to someone. And you know what, if you've spoken to someone about maybe having a mental illness or thinking that you have a mental illness or just feeling low, then that's just so brave, because it can be really hard. Mentally, you just keep everything inside, and often you will just feel so alone. So yeah, it is hard, but talking is the first step to achieving more and being mentally happy and healthy.
That's like the most important thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to not keep pushing and to keep brushing your feelings under. Don't keep pretending that you're okay.
I did that recently for a good couple of weeks.
Did you?
Yeah. And it's
like pretending that you're fine when you're not.
It's so easy because I've had such an anxious past as a child, and again, it's like drawing the line and seeing where you're at. And it can be really confusing about how you actually feel and stuff. So
yeah,
just don't keep pushing. It could be a problem, it might not be a problem, but it's just better to talk to someone about it just in case.
Number 4, so we briefly mentioned this in the other video that I filmed with Liv on her channel, but that is not comparing yourself to others. So whether that is comparing yourself to me or another study YouTuber, comparing yourself to your friend who seems to be super on it with their revision timetable and hours, try your best not to compare yourself to anyone. It's not worth it. It will make you feel worse. It will make you feel inadequate a lot of the time. And often that person's probably comparing themselves to you anyway.
We're all individual in this process, and we may be going through the same situations, maybe going through A-levels together. However, I've got different subjects to you, I've got different exam techniques to you, I've got different revision techniques to you, and at the end of the day, you're taking these exams for you. You're not taking them for the person you're comparing yourself to.
And number 5, which sort of goes with that, is eliminate toxic people in your life, especially around exam season. It is not worth maintaining conversations with people that make you feel really negative
and bring you down.
You need to surround yourself with people who are going to uplift you, and if you feel like you don't have friends like that, or who don't share a similar work ethic or view on like revision, that sort of thing, then perhaps just distance yourself from them, even if it's just for exam season. You don't need the added stress of friendship pressures and those sort of things around this time. But I know that's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I think maybe before distancing, I know it can be so hard, like talking to people, because
that's true.
Like you want to keep your friends, but maybe just sort of saying, like, maybe you have a friend who's not really getting into revision, and just maybe check up on them.
Yeah,
and be like, are you going to start revising? Like, not to stress you out, but you know, they're coming up. And if they're like, oh,
do you need any help? Yeah,
if they're like struggling, then obviously you can help them. But if they're gonna,
if it's like, oh, who cares about exams? Like why do you care about exams?
Yeah, that's when the pressure comes in, and you don't want that. Point number 6 is pressure from teachers. We both have had quite a few DMs from subscribers and people who watch our videos just saying how the amount of pressure that comes from teachers, or maybe parents and friends, but especially teachers, is just mind-blowing. Like, we've had so many messages about it, and again, these exams are for yourself. You're taking them for you, and yeah, at the end of the day, your teacher would love a class maybe full of A-stars.
Sometimes I don't even think they do it consciously. I don't think they realise that they're putting this pressure on. I mean, I had a teacher at Maths GCSE, and she was amazing, loved her, but at every parents' evening she'd always say, like, oh, Jade, you're a star, like, you're gonna go into that exam, you're gonna breeze right through, it'll be easy, you know, you basically, you know, you've got that A-star gifted to you on a plate. And then at home, when I would be doing my maths revision and I didn't understand something, I would have this awful feeling of pressure and expectations that, oh, you know, I should be breezing through this, like, why am I not going to get the grade? And I just, you know, felt this like looming pressure from her. And obviously she didn't mean to do it. She was trying to make me feel good. A lot of the time, teachers say this to you because they just see your potential. Yeah. And they really want to push you to do well and to reach your potential. But sometimes it can just have a really negative effect. Yeah, so you can't blame them, but at the same time, you just really do need to sit down with yourself and think, you know, you're the only one who can dictate what you want to get. Sometimes it can be quite nice to talk to the teacher as well. So I didn't do it for GCSE, which I kind of regret, but at A-level I chatted to my maths teacher at an after school session, and I was like, Miss, I just want to say, can you please not put any pressure on me and my other friend who's quite academic. We were sat there and we were having a chat with her, and I think it was interesting for her to actually hear how we felt, because I think teachers don't realise they're doing it a lot of the time.
They have a lot of students, and they probably, you know, the school does group people into ability, and you know, teachers will see those who are struggling and those who are better at a subject.
I just wanted to quickly add on as well that it can also be the opposite way around. So if a teacher says, you are a C student,
I've had that.
or like you are a 4 or a 5 student, and they seem to expect that that is the best you can do, or that you'll just scrape a pass, that can have equally damaging effects, because you can be revising and you can be thinking, well, what's the point? If I'm I'm just about gonna pass, then what's the point? And that's also up to you to set yourself higher goals, to know that you are worth more than that you are capable of more than that, and it's not just what a teacher is telling you.
And you can do it.
You can do it.
Because GCSE my teacher said I would never get above the lowest tier of a C. I worked my bum off and I got middle B, I think.
Hey, look at that! That's so good. Number 7. So this is more during proper exams of exam season. If an exam has gone badly, it is very easy to fall into this rut, to fall into this negative space where, you know, it's gone badly, maybe 2 have gone badly, and you've still got weeks left of exams, and it's very tempting to just say, well, what's the point? You know, it's not going anywhere, the exams aren't going to get better if I keep revising or if I don't. And I think although it's really hard to do this, it's important not to dwell on those exams, and also not to discuss them with other people. You were saying this earlier.
GCSE, I used to run home because I didn't want to hear. I didn't want to hear any of it. And I actually remember after my history GCSE, people were discussing the date one, where you have to have certain events within the date timeline, and people were telling me like, no, that event didn't happen then, and I was just panicking, and you know, people were waiting for the mark scheme to come out in the grade boundaries in like August, and I really stressed out because of that. And honestly, if you can run home...
But she got 100 UMS.
Yeah!
Let's just put that in there.
Exactly. So really, just don't listen to people. Go and run home if you can. Run back to school, wherever you need to go.
Yeah, do whatever you need to just not dwell on it. Remove yourself from the situation. And also just look ahead. You know what I mean? That's happened in the past. You've got all these other exams to come, and they're all going to be different.
That's so
the
true.
day is going to be different. The way you're feeling that day is going to be different. The questions are different. Potentially specifications, subject, the way you feel about the subject. Every single thing about that moment will be different. There's no point putting yourself in that place where you think it's going to be exactly the same as the other one, because it won't be.
Just to add on to that is panicking in your actual exam rather than before or after. If you're panicking in your exam, you really need to just sit there, think about what you're doing, have you read the question properly, and just think, you know what, this is one question, we can do better than this, you know, there are better questions coming up. You just have to keep putting yourself in the positive mindset.
Positive, yeah,
because
constantly.
as soon as you tell yourself you can't do something,
your brain, like, it's a mental thing, you can't do it,
you just can't do it.
And for me, like, every single exam I do, the first question, when I first do it, is pretty much sacrificed. And I often go back at the end of a paper, and there was something that I really struggled on, and all of a sudden I look at it, and it's like, well, now that I'm in the zone, it's so doable. And I'm just going to give you a quick anecdote, but in my C1 maths exam last year, my Core 1 AS, literally, that paper, I have never felt so panicked in my life in a paper. All the practice papers were far better than that one was. First question, got in that exam, I just did not know what I was doing. I kept trying it and the numbers weren't working. I could not get to the answer. And this thing keeps going in your head. like, this is the real exam. This is my life. If I don't get this, you know, all these bad things
so
spiral.
Panic.
Yeah, like, oh my god, my teacher's gonna be so annoyed with me, whatever. And it's up to you to be like, stop, like, your heart rate is pounding, stop, put in a breathing technique, anything you need, move on, go through the question again with a fresh approach, underline keywords, you know, make it easier for yourself. Like, yes, I know what that word means. And in my C1 exam, although I really did not understand quite a few questions at the start of the paper, I kept trying. I got a pencil instead of a pen and did it in the little space next to the question. And eventually I got to an answer that I felt happy with. And in the end I did get like an okay grade in that paper. So yeah.
The whole video is about positive mindset, and you have the choice to go, okay, it's one question, we're gonna be alright, let's keep going, or you can spiral down really quickly by saying you can't do something. And of course you can do it. You've had all this time, you've worked 2 years for these exams.
Yeah.
You have the skills and the ability.
Number 8, yeah.
That worked.
It was 8. Number 8 is, don't keep your feelings pent up. If you've had a bad exam, if you are feeling stressed, I think it's a really good idea to journal things or have a diary. Basically just write things down. If you don't like writing things down, you can vent to a friend, or a wall, yeah, or a dog.
Or a dog.
Dogs love
Poor
you,
dog.
you know. Yeah, just do not keep these feelings pent up. I used to write like not poetry, but like poetic little things during my exams, just because I like creative writing and just channeling like any sort of stress somewhere else.
It's also a break, isn't
yeah, it is, yeah. And number 9, this is one of my biggest pro tips for exams, is visualize it going well. Like, sit there and think, right, positive mindset, what is the best way that this exam could go? And don't just do it once and think that it will be for the whole exam season. Every single night before that exam, visualize yourself in that exam room with it going well. Imagine yourself knowing the answers, or imagine yourself getting to a question which is hard and you don't understand, but somehow the answer comes. And just constantly keep visualizing it as clearly as you can. Imagine yourself going into that room feeling confident, shoulders back, like, yes. And
it does work, because my boyfriend has always had that mindset, and with maths GCSE I honestly felt like I couldn't do anything. I was told I couldn't do it, but I just got into this mindset. I was like, yes, this is going to go well. Kept doing past papers and it turned out fine.
And number 10 is all about hydration, water, diet, sleep. Look after yourself.
Water is especially important, and even though, you know, water bottles can be a bit stressful in exams because you have to take off the label, blah, blah. It's proven because dehydration actually increases your cortisol levels, which is actually a stress hormone.
That's actually the stress hormone, yeah.
And they have it, it's proven. Go get your water bottle, bring water into your exams.
Yeah.
And make sure that you drink enough. Don't be obsessed by it, because some people get like...
And don't go to the toilet all the time. Also, I think it's very tempting in exam season, especially with quite a few mental health issues, to binge eat.
Definitely.
And it's so hard, but if you can maintain a healthier diet, it just boosts everything. It boosts your positivity, your feelings of productivity.
It's incredibly hard. And also just pointing out that binge eating does mean both putting on weight and eating more, and also eating less. And
some people do go the other way.
Weight.
Yeah.
Binge often comes across as eating more, but it actually means both. And I'm actually going to be making a video pretty soon, I think, on binge eating, because I do personally suffer with binge eating during exam time.
So subscribe to Liv if you want to see that in the future. And obviously you need to be getting enough sleep, and this is one of the main things that it seems to be sacrificed in exam season. But I know personally, if I have not had enough sleep, my brain just does not function well enough. So for example, when I'm revising and I've not had a very good night's sleep, I could read the same amount of information over like 10 times and it won't go in as well as if I read it like once and I've had a good night's sleep.
And also I've had so many days where I've just had a late night and I'm like in a roll with a vision, and then around 10 o'clock in the morning I just have a crash, and then
yeah.
and then I end up napping for the whole day, and it's just not productive.
Yeah.
So sleep is just massive in exam season.
Yeah, even sometimes prioritise your sleep over doing that extra bit of work. The last point that we want to get across is someone always cares about you.
Always.
And sometimes you might feel a bit isolated, or you might feel like no one does care, whether that is your parents and your home life, your teachers, or your friends. Someone always cares about you.
And it may be someone externally, so maybe a charity, such as like Childine. You can go online and talk to someone, like a proper counsellor.
I mean, we care about you. I mean, I know I don't know every single one of you personally, but when I get your messages, I care about you. Like, I want you to succeed, and I really do want to help in any way that I can. So do reach out to. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if we can't see every single message and reply to every single message, but at the same time, we do still care. So you can always reach out. Yeah. So just know that you never are alone.
Never alone.
Yeah.
And there's always something to relate to. So hopefully you relate to this video.
So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And if you feel like you've just been procrastinating for a very long time, and you need to get some revision done, feel free to click off of this video after watching it, assuming you've also already seen the one that we filmed on Liv's channel, because if not, you can go watch that. I just hope you're feeling okay. I hope you're not getting too stressed.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it. And it's easier said than done.
Yeah. Also, make sure if you're feeling stressed during your exams, I recommend re-watching this video, because I think just hearing what we had to say can be really reassuring during your exams.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any more video requests, please do feel free to comment them down below, because I'm quite on it with my video requests right now. So yeah, just let me know what you like. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.